Hi, I'm Dr. Liz Applegate, member of a scientific advisory board here at Neolife. And I'm super excited to be talking to you about minerals. And I'm going to guess you've heard the name calcium and maybe iron before, and you're focused on that. But I'm going to share with you today a mineral you probably don't pay attention to, but you should, because a good proportion of us are either not eating enough or our body has poor status. I'll get to that. But first, where do minerals come from? They actually originate in rocks and soil in the Earth's crust, and water running over that and plants taking up the nutrients from the soil. Then when we eat the plants or we eat animal products like drink a glass of milk, we get those minerals. Our body needs 20-some different minerals, and there's no way that we can make them. We've got to get them from outside sources. What I'd like to do is talk to you about the two different categories of minerals and let us know that we have about 5 to 10 pounds of minerals in our body. And think of that. You pick up a 5-pound bag of potatoes. That's about the weight of calcium and all sorts of minerals that are in your body. We have major minerals, ones that you've heard of like sodium and potassium, and then trace minerals. And those are minerals that are present in a very small amount like iron and zinc, but still equally as important. Well, let's focus on one, and here's what we think here at Neolife is the missing link: magnesium. Maybe you haven't heard of it yet, but by the end of this you will, and you'll want to do something about your magnesium intake. Let's take a look at more closely to what magnesium does for us. When we think about magnesium in our body, as a biochemist and nutritionist, well, I could recite some 700 different biochemical reactions that magnesium is participating in. What I want to focus on is that magnesium is needed for energy release from the foods that you eat, or energy production. And we need that ability to build proteins, to make hormones. So more specifically, when we look at magnesium throughout our body, this role in producing energy is crucial. We have a compound in our body called ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and magnesium is essential for our ability to make this high energy compound. And I want you to think of ATP as a dollar bill. And you know that you have to pay for groceries, pay for your electrical bill. That costs dollars here in the US, any kind of currency. ATP is the currency inside of your cells. And you need to pay to build a protein, to make new genetic material, and that's a set of instructions telling your eyeball cell to be an eyeball or your muscle cell to behave like a muscle. We need magnesium for that. You want to make estrogen or the other sex hormone or make insulin, you've got to have magnesium for that. So you can imagine there are far-reaching benefits for having adequate magnesium intake and magnesium status. Having a calm mood, healthy nerve transmission, also for muscle contraction. And in particular during exercise, we know magnesium plays a role. Cardiovascular health. Normal blood pressure and normal heart rhythm is dependent upon adequate magnesium status. And when we look at skeletal health, we need magnesium to make our bones, and we're constantly remodeling them throughout our lives. A healthy immune system is dependent on adequate magnesium. And finally, your ability to balance glucose in the body, metabolic regulation, relies on adequate magnesium. So where do we turn to in our diet to get magnesium? You need about 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium every day. Well, we can look at green leafy vegetables, seafood, whole grains, fruit. It's there. However, there has been some issues going on why many people, you most likely included, are not getting adequate magnesium. Let's take a look at the numbers. About 50% of, in particular, young adults are either poor intake of magnesium or have a low magnesium status in their body. And it gets worse, 70 to 80% for older adults. Why is this going on? Well, it turns out we're selecting not those magnesium-rich foods that I mentioned. We're eating highly refined carbohydrates like high sugar foods, low in magnesium. Also, our ability to take up magnesium, the bioavailability, is declining. We're doing things like taking medication, over-the-counter antacids that compromise that. And then when we look to how much magnesium is in the plants that we grow, that the animals eat, that we may eat, it's declining. Crop soil depletion. We have a problem. And the problem is that over time, not getting enough magnesium as intake and taking it up, we compromise all those benefits I spoke about. What does this mean for you? Well, you could have abnormally low blood pressure and high blood pressure, an inability to regulate it well because of inadequate magnesium. Heart arrhythmias, muscle spasms. Do you get muscle cramps frequently, maybe at night? That potentially can be a reason. We also know that altered mood is linked to low magnesium status and also metabolic disorders. This is a true problem that all of us need to look at and think about. Is it the missing link for you? Is magnesium a problem in your diet and how much your body is able to get? Well, here at Neolife, we have some good news. We have news that will make a difference for you. Supplementation with magnesium does work if that supplement is designed properly. And you know, here at Neolife, we've put a lot of thought into it. And our new magnesium complex with a proprietary mix of 3 magnesium sources, along with a phytomag blend of kale, radish, broccoli, and beets, won't find it anywhere else, is a way to get your magnesium. Each 2 capsules supplies about 75% of your daily value for magnesium, roughly 300 milligrams. And what I want to talk a moment about is the importance of these 3 sources. One in particular, magnesium bisglycinate. And this is a form of magnesium. There's the molecule or atom of magnesium with 2 small amino acids attached. Those are the building blocks of protein. Dr. Arthur first pioneered this technique. And what this allows magnesium to do is get inside your body more easily, better bioavailability. It's like you getting a TSA pre-check. You get into the gate much faster if you have pre-check as opposed to not. Think of it the same way. There's also an organic form of magnesium and magnesium oxide, the same form that we find in what's in plants and in the soil. Here at Neolife, we take pride in the scientific backing with our advisory board developing these new products. And I'm really excited to be a part of it. And magnesium should be on your radar screen. Think about taking magnesium now. And virtually everyone, given the statistics, can benefit. We want to overcome some of the problems we're seeing with abnormal heart rhythm, problems with blood pressure, metabolic disorders. You can benefit. Start taking magnesium now and enjoy the simply magnificent way that you'll feel.